Today we have 6 youth group games for you to play at your youth ministry Christmas party.
Welcome to the Ministry Coach Podcast, where we bring you weekly tips and tactics to help you fast track the growth and health of your youth ministry. My name is Jeff Lascola, and this is
Kristen Lascola.
And today we're coming at you with 6 fun, super easy Christmas games you can play in your youth group.
Yep, it's time for Christmas games. So number 1, to me this feels like a little bit of an icebreaker, but you could keep it going as long as you want and keep people coming up. It's the elf spaghetti eating competition. So I saw this first.
Syrup included or not?
Of course.
Okay.
Candy canes, candy corns, and syrup. So there's that scene in Elf where he's making spaghetti, breakfast spaghetti, and and he adds a bunch of ingredients. I saw this done at a winter camp once, and we've played it since, and it's really fun. And it's a high entertainment value. It's just Christmassy. My favorite Christmas movie, and it's just hilarious. So obviously pre-make the spaghetti, put it in a couple bowls, however many people you want to compete, have a bowl for each one. And then either you can add the toppings or you can have them add the toppings one by one and add that to the extension of the game. Like, all right, everyone grab your Pop-Tart and crumble it up and put it in. Like, it could be almost like this little cooking thing, all right, everyone add your marshmallows, everyone. And then once now mix it with your hands, get in there really good. And then if they're not, you just reach right in and mix it for them with your hands. And then, 3, 2, 1, go. And whoever can eat either the most in a certain amount of time or finish it based on the portion you give them, then that team wins. So I think that's a really fun icebreaker. I think it'd be fun for like a leadership team or a smaller group if you have a smaller youth group. Or if you want to involve more people, you could have one person be the chef and one person has to eat it. So one person's adding all the stuff and mixing it. Make sure they wash their hands. And then the other person has to eat it. And now you've just doubled the amount of people that are involved. Yeah. So you can put little twists on it like that.
I've always been a fan when someone is behind the other person and they stick their arms through. One person has their hands behind their back and makes them eat. Although they might get a finger bit off with spaghetti, but that could be worth it. I don't know.
Can you imagine going to the ER and trying to explain?
I was eating breakfast spaghetti from the movie Elf, and somebody bit my finger off.
Wait, you were eating it? No, they were eating it with my hands. I was
just feeding it to them blindly.
Wait, where did this happen? At church. Okay, weird. So I think one fun element would obviously be to show that scene first. Yeah. I'm sure the kids have seen it, but anytime you put on a Christmas movie, everyone's all excited and hyped and stuff like that.
I feel like 9 out of 10 adults would be like, nope, I'm not doing that. Yeah. And yet probably 10 out of 10 kids would be like, oh my gosh, I want to do that.
Of course. I mean, it's just that's why junior hires are my people. They're ready to have a good time at all times. But it's funny because I'm like, I wouldn't do that, but I want to see you guys do it.
Suckers.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right, number 2. But before we get to that, if you guys want a downloadable PDF for these Christmas youth group games, make sure you email us at ministrycoachpodcast@gmail.com and we can send that over to you, because I know it's probably a lot to take in, especially if you're driving or running. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't be driving while you're watching it. But you know what I mean? So we can send you that and you guys can have it and you won't have to sit there and write all these down. So there you go. Number 2, what is it?
All right, this one has to do with Christmas songs, and this one is a lot harder than I ever anticipate it being. And so it's Christmas, like finish the lyrics. So basically you have a Christmas song that I would think everybody would know. They don't know. I grew up singing Christmas carols. I went caroling. Like, we sang them at school. We went to a retirement home and sang. I know Christmas songs. And I assume other people know Christmas songs too. And so pick easy ones and, you play part of it. And then you pause it and you can have 2 people playing and they have to run up to the stage, tag you. If they get there first, they get to finish the lyric for a point for their team. So you can make this a little more fun by like you could do a music video for each one, like with you and your leaders or staff, or pull in some students, you know, on your leadership team or something like that. And so it's like you guys doing a funny Christmas thing with the song going. Another variation I've done of this is almost like the idea of Pictionary, but you are gargling the song and the people have to listen and guess what it is. So you don't have to sing it, but like Frosty the Snowman, and then you're like, and it's really funny. I've played that on the weekend before with my students, and it's just silly and fun. And it's very easy. So gargle a tune is literally no prep. All you need is, here's a cup of water, gargle, without choking. And then if you do the lyric one, it is very low prep of just knowing when you want to pause the song and have the kid run up. So
yeah, you're like a weird like savant, and you know all the lyrics to like all Christmas songs, and you'll say things I'm like, that's not really the lyrics. Like that doesn't even make sense. And sure enough, like it's what it says.
Well, because at my old church growing up, we had like a hymnal, and then they would sing, like you'd read it while you sing it. So then we'd go to verse 2 and verse 3. And so I just thought everybody did that, but whatever.
Nope. I know the choruses. That's about it.
All right. Number 3. This one is also so fun. This has got to be one of my favorites. We call it Total Recall Christmas Edition. So you pick like your top 5 favorite Christmas movies. You pick a scene from that movie. They're usually all available on YouTube, and you just play it easy peasy. And so you play a clip from, let's just use Elf again, because it's the best Christmas movie. You play Elf, and then like, let's say either like a full scene. You probably don't want to go too long, because then it's like, wait, they forget everything. But you just ask them questions about, it's like Scene It, you know, that game, Total Recall, Scene It, you can call it whatever you want. But you ask questions about the scene that you just showed them. So, you know, don't get overly specific. Like, how many times did the dad blink? Like, what? Too much. But you can say,
pretty specific.
Yeah, like what color was Randy's jacket? Or, well, now I'm going to Christmas Vacation. But what would be a good one? Randy? Oh, no, that's a Christmas Story.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
I was like, what?
Randy. Okay, you could, like how many neighbors came out to see the lamp?
Christmas Vacation.
Russ.
Yeah.
You know, what was the first gift they opened, like in that open frenzy scene in A Christmas Story? They're like opening them rapid fire. What was the very first gift that Randy opened? Or what was the name of the 2 bullies? Like, you can get as specific or general as you want. You could probably play
Scut Farkus and Grover Dill for the win.
Grover Dill. Okay, so if I'm weird about Christmas lyrics, you're weird about people's names. There'll be like a random celebrity.
And it's not Scott Farkus, it's Scut Farkus.
Gross.
I didn't name him.
That name just sounds like a bodily function gone wrong. Scut Farkus. I Scut Farkus.
I need to change my clothes.
Help.
I need a Q-tip and 2 sponges. I had a Scut Farkus.
Q-tip. Sick.
I didn't say what it was for. Moving
you didn't
on.
have to. Yeah, so like, I don't even know. Oh, that's what you do. There'll be like a random celebrity in a movie, and you'll be like, oh, that's
Scut Farkus.
Joan Hemmingsworth. And you're like, nobody knows who Joan...
Like an extra.
Yeah, nobody knows who Joan Hemmingsworth is. Joan, if you're watching.
She was good. She was really underrated.
Yeah. So, yeah, Christmas edition, Seen It. I think that one's fun for high school too, because it's like, I don't know, like I don't think high schoolers always want to do run around kind of games.
Right.
And so I think that's like a fun little, like get in teams of 5 and you have a little answer sheet for them and you keep playing Christmas movies. And who doesn't love watching Christmas movies? So turning it into a game is just a fun thing to bring people together. I like it for junior high, but I think it's really great for high school too. All right. And this is not a game, but this is just a little fun thing I've done in the past is having a costume contest at your like Christmas party.
That's if your church allows costumes for the Christmas winter festival.
Stop.
Too soon after Halloween.
I saw the Babylon Bee the other day, and it was like, Jesus knows your harvest festival is really a Halloween party.
No, it's not. No, it's not. See, we have candy and costumes
and pumpkins. And where are you getting the idea?
Clearly, I saw a sign going into town today that said Autumn Festival. I was like,
ooh, what's in the Autumn Festival?
Is that anything like a harvest or fall festival? Anyways,
Christians and semantics.
I know. Sorry.
I tell ya.
I derailed you there. So this is a costume party.
So like I always say, dress up as a Christmas character or item, and then we do a little Christmas. It
gets really creative. I love that.
I do too. I think it's almost more fun than a Halloween costume contest because, like, you have kids. She's my admin now, but when she was in junior high, she was a candle, like a Christmas candle. So funny. Like, she drew her face in this flame and she like cut it out. You know, that was adorable. Obviously, we've had a lot of elves. We've had Christmas trees. We've had Cindy Lou Who. We've had all kinds of stuff. So it's like, what's the dad from Christmas Vacation?
Oh, Clark Griswold.
You were Clark Griswold one year. I mean, it was so fun. And so then people can vote. You could do a little runway catwalk thing and have prizes for the winner.
Because it's so constrained, I feel like you have to be more creative.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're going to be like, like you said, another elf, like another candy cane.
Yeah, I mean, even if a kid comes as a present,
it's still fun.
That's cute. Or, a shepherd or something. But anyways, so I think that's a fun element to add in. It's not like the thing, but it's like part of the night just to make it more festive. Because I think we can all agree, ugly Christmas sweater.
Right.
It's still fun.
It is.
And I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but I think it's lost a little bit of its...
Well, they make them now. Like, the whole joy of the ugly Christmas sweater was like you'd have to go to a thrift store and find some just awful thing.
Yeah.
And, but now it's like you can go on Amazon or probably wherever else, and it's like, here's 1,000 ugly Christmas sweaters to buy.
Yeah. Or the
prices.
Flannels or, whatever. I just think a lot of that is getting played. So, I don't know. Something different.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the games. Number 4, this is great for junior high. I don't know if you could get high schoolers to play this, maybe if they're super competitive, but a Christmas relay race. I don't know about your kids, but mine love a relay. And it's really fun. And the reason I like relays, they're kind of a pain to set up because there's a lot of stations, but it involves a lot of people.
Do you just burp?
I did. I tried to keep talking.
No. I'm going to point that out every time.
It was a little rumbling, but I thought I handled it very
Grover
well.
Dill.
A Grover Dill. I wish. All right. So here are some station ideas for your Christmas relay. Chug eggnog. So like you put out the eggnog.
And have trash cans available to barf into.
And that's not exaggerating. We've had kids puke doing eggnog, but I mean, you know what you're signing up for. So
it's a Festivus miracle.
So yeah, you put it out, chug it. Once they chug it, you move on. You could have like a giant candy cane be the baton or something. Then they pass the baton and they go to Christmas donut on a string. So you hang the donut, Christmas donut, there you go, on the string, and they put their hands behind their back. They have to eat it. If it falls on the floor, too bad. You still have to eat it. And then they pass the baton to the next station and you hand them a big wad of Christmas lights and they have to untangle it. So go to the thrift store. There's always a wad of Christmas lights there. See if they can untangle it. Then they pass the baton to the next one. And I usually have a few people working on this. I go to Dollar Tree and get like a 48-piece puzzle or a 30-something piece puzzle. And I have kids on a table working on it. As soon as the Christmas puzzle is done, you move on to, it could be like a candy cane unwrapping thing, which, because they're so hard to unwrap, like a classic candy cane,
like
that cellophane.
Yeah.
Oh, don't give them scissors. They just have to unwrap the candy cane.
Can they use their teeth?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine. And then we move on to Santa's beard. And so you get shaving cream, non-menthol shaving cream. They put a
non-menthol shaving cream. I just want to emphasize that.
Oh, I thought you were making fun of me, like that doesn't exist.
Normally, yes, but in this case, no, you're right. You don't use the menthol.
No, because they'll get it in their eyes. But you give one, it could be like a pair of people. And so they put the shaving cream beard on, and then one person stands there with a cup, and they have to throw, like, you give them a line of like, here's where Santa stands, here's where you stand. And you're throwing Cheerios into their beard. Once you get like 20 to stick, you can move on. So you're going to have a leader there counting of like, they got all the Cheerios. Or you could do something more Christmassy candy. It needs to be lightweight though, is the problem. So like, even
because like Skittles would probably fall.
It's too heavy. Cheerios are so light. So if you could find something,
there's probably a Christmas themed cereal, I'm sure.
I was gonna say go to like the
don't eat it though.
Random bagged cereal, you know, those giant bags.
Bulk.
Yeah, I bet you they've got some weird
flavor O's. Like, no.
Green and red flavor O's. If they exist, that's what you want.
I guarantee they do.
So anyways, they get 20 on Santa's beard, then they can move on. And then you could do something similar with partners. Someone has like a container of cotton balls or a little bag of cotton balls. The other person has a cup, and the person with the cotton balls has a plastic spoon, and they have to fling the snowballs, and the other person has to catch them in the cup. Once you've caught 10, you get to move on. So you can... I mean, these are all just general things. You can tighten it up or figure out exact as you go, and for your setting and how many kids you have and all that kind of stuff. And then you could do like a hooking the candy canes and putting them like in a stocking or something. So if you have a big pile of candy canes and they have to put it in their mouth with like the straight end in their mouth, and then hook the other ones and put them in some kind of receptacle.
Like a pile of them, you just pick it up and do that? Okay.
Yeah, but you can't use your hands. So you're just using the little J hook to put them into something. And once you do so many, you know, you get to move on. So I feel like that's like enough relay stations to get you started.
Right.
Probably. And then this one could, and any of those can be individual games too, which is pretty cool. So we just gave
They're almost kind of like minute to win it, but probably take longer than a minute. So
yeah, like if you have a smaller group, these are great. Or they could be icebreakers, or you could plug them into your relay. And another one I have two more. It was hard for me to know because yes, they could be stations or standalone games, but you could have a cup of cocoa with mini marshmallows in it, and they have a straw, and they have to...
Is that possible? Oh, mini marshmallows.
Yeah, mini marshmallows. They have to suck them up with the straw, and like using the suction, transfer them from the cocoa to like a cup or something. Like,
so they're not like eating them. It's just kind of like sucking to the end of the straw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
To move them. So yeah, they have to fish them out of the cocoa. So like you could give them however many you want. Like you have to get 20 marshmallows out of this cocoa. If you do it in a big mug or a bowl or something like that, get the marshmallows.
That works. You can really do that.
Yeah, we do it with Skittles all the time. Part of my relay that we just did on Tuesday was called the Skittles sort. And so I get a big bag of Skittles, and it's like a team of like, I let 5 people do it, and it's like, you're green, you're yellow, and they have straws, and they're have to sort all the Skittles into their individual colors. And once every Skittle is sorted, they hand the baton to the next person. It just adds like, so with relays, if it is your game, you're looking for things that take a little time and precision. And then people kind of gather around the table and they're like, hurry, green, you know? And so you're building, like if things are too easy or too quick, it's like, oh, we spent all that time setting up a relay and you guys did it in like 30 seconds. So what do you guys want to do now? So adding in like the puzzle, it takes some time. The donut, it takes a little bit of time. So those are why.
If you want to be really cruel, take the puzzle, both of them, and mix them together. So they have to fish their parts out. You know what I mean?
How would you do that?
Well, same way you make a puzzle.
Oh my gosh, that would be impossible.
Could be fun to watch though.
Oh, that would take too long.
They're pretty simple puzzles though.
Yeah, they are.
It's not like you have 1,000 pieces.
True.
1,000-piece puzzle. Try that one.
Yeah, that would be like, oh, see you tomorrow.
It'll just keep going.
You guys lock up when you're done. Let us know who won. And then another one you could do is you have a group of you, depending on your size of group. So let's say 5 people to a table. Okay. or you could play it on the floor. Every group of 5 gets a gift that has been wrapped over and over and over and over again. Wrapping paper, saran wrap, wrapping paper, all that kind of stuff. Make it really hard. And then, so you put something really good in it because there's not very many. So like it's a gift card or something like that, or cash. I don't know. Can we give away cash at church? I do. And then there's a dice and you roll the dice, kind of like that deadly dice game we had talked about. If you roll a 6 or doubles, if you have 2 dice, well, you can decide whatever you want it to be. But say you roll a 6, you get the present and you get to start unwrapping as much as you can. Meanwhile, the dice is still going around the table. If somebody else rolls a 6, then they take the present from you and they get to unwrap. Basically, whoever gets to go all the way like to the end gets whatever's in there. To make it so that the person, like just trying to roll a 6, if you have 5 people, it'll move pretty quick. Mm-hmm. You could do it even, like you could do like 1 in 6 or whatever you want it to be if you want it to change hands even faster. We've played it at like our staff Christmas meetings. It's really fun. I love that one. All right. So you got your relay, the gifts, all that. All right. And then number 5, it's called, the name doesn't matter. I always say that. I'm like, don't pay attention to my names of my games. They're stupid. Revenge of the Elves, or it could be Christmas Tree Scramble. I don't know. Come up with a better name. But basically, all your leaders are elves. Okay. And half of them, or it doesn't have to be half, but a portion of them are good elves. A portion of them are bad elves, but they all look the same. Like you wouldn't be able to tell. If you want a quick, easy elf costume for your leaders for this game, go to Dollar Tree, get the little elf ear headbands, or the one with the little hat. Easy peasy. Now you have elves. Okay. Or tell people wear a scarf and I'll bring you the elf ears. So they go and hide around your property, around your church, around wherever you're meeting, and students have to go and find them. Well, every elf has gifts. Some of them are good and some of them are bad, and you don't know which is which until you get it. So I've gone, like, sometimes you can find tiny gift boxes in bulk, and you just assemble them like they're folded down, and you just make these tiny gift boxes. And then the bad elves have bad gifts, and that amount to nothing, right? So that could be coal, or something that you make look like coal. One idea I had is hair. Ew. Just putting hair in there. I don't know where you're going to get the hair, but just imagine you open a box of hair.
So gross.
Yeah, it's so gross. I wonder if you could buy hair on Amazon.
Dollar Tree, or Amazon. They have everything.
Okay, so I got my hair braided and I went to like the extension store to get hair to add to the braid. And it was a full pack. It wasn't human hair. Don't get human hair because that's way too expensive. But it was a full pack of like synthetic hair at these like extension shops. And it was like $4.
That's a great deal on hair you got.
Deal on hair. Why are you buying it?
Why are we having this conversation?
Because there's evil elves with bad gifts that need hair in their boxes. Things I never thought I'd talk about. Or black licorice. Gross. Gross. All right. Or kitty litter. I don't know. You can put all kinds of bad stuff in these boxes. So they get the box. It's nothing. Then they find the good elves. And the good elves, you could do this a few different ways. Maybe the good elves have good things in them, like toys or candy, little things. And then they take those back to like Santa's factory, and then whoever gets the most good gifts like wins. Or you can do it as like the good elves. I've done it this way before. They hand you an envelope or a gift that has a clue in it. Maybe that clue is a letter and you have to put all the letters together. What does it spell? It spells refrigerator, and there's something for you in the fridge. You go get that and then you bring it back. You could like extend it or make it more creative. Or it's just like, no, you have to collect all the gifts. And once you do that, you win. You need gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Like, sounds cheesy, but I have done that before. And it was actually really fun. Like, once you get all baby Jesus's gifts, you get to come back and your team wins. And those kinds, they're a little faster. And so you probably could play multiple rounds. You would just have to reset. If you do something more like they're collecting clues to lead to something that you've put somewhere and then they have to bring that back or do something with that, that extends the game a little longer. And then the last one we're going to talk about is Christmas eyes, ears, and hands. So you get in teams of 3, and prior to playing the game, you get a big piece of paper, not too big, like what's bigger than 8.5 by 11? What are the longer ones?
Oh, that like lawyer paper, legal paper.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Whatever. Don't worry, the lawyers aren't listening. They papers. Don't know. You draw a Christmas scene with a Sharpie, very basic. So it's like some mountains with a little house and a path and a tree, a snowman outside the house, Santa's sleigh up in the sky, a moon and some stars, a little sign that says the North Pole, just enough details, but very basic drawing. Okay, I'm terrible at drawing and I could mostly pull it off. So then you get them in teams of 3. One person is the eyes, one's the ears, and one's the hands. So you give the eyes 30 seconds to look at the picture. Then you take the picture away, and then the eyes have 30 seconds to describe the picture to the ears. And then the ears go and tell the hands how to draw the picture based on what they've just heard. And whoever gets closest to the original picture, that team wins. And that's like more of a calm game.
Yeah.
You know, we played it with adults and it was really fun. I played it at a life group Bible study thing before. I loved it. And it's kind of one of those that's simple but fun for kind of a calmer or smaller group. And I really like it a lot. And I think that is all.
That's 6. And again, if you guys want the PDF of all the instructions to these games, then email us at ministrycoachpodcast@gmail.com. We can send that over to you. All right, so right now it is time for the question of the day. Apropos, what are your top 3 Christmas movies in order?
All right, easy.
And both of us had the same moment where Christmas Story was not originally on my list, and now I don't know where to put it because it should be on there.
I know.
I know where I'm going to put it.
Okay, so number 1 is Elf. I think you guys have probably figured that out from this episode. I love Elf. It's just hilarious. Number 2, Christmas Vacation. And now it's a toss-up for number 3 between Home Alone and A Christmas Story, but I think I'm going to go with Home Alone simply because of the soundtrack.
Okay, mine's very similar, but I did Home Alone, Elf.
Home Alone is number 1?
Yeah, I think so. And
wow.
Home Alone, Elf, and then Christmas Story. And honestly, all 3 of those could be interchangeable. But like you said,
Christmas Vacation did not make your list.
No, I put that. Maybe it's just because
I thought that'd be number 1 for you.
It's funny. I love
I don't
it.
Even
it would
know
be number.
you.
It was my 3 until I forgot about Christmas Story. And so, but the soundtrack for Home Alone, that puts it over the top.
John Williams.
Yeah. Great. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you
want to
knew
know
that.
why? Because you always say that.
I'm
That's
such a
why.
nerd. All right, let's do a community comment of the day. This comes from Carl Schmidtke, who says, "Wonderful episode. You have helped me grow my middle school youth group from about 12 students to sometimes over 50.
Holy
He says,
Carl.
averaging 38.
Holy Carl.
Thank you for all you do." Well, thank you, Carl, and I'm so glad that you've gotten a lot of value out of our episodes.
Wow.
And that your youth group is growing and thriving.
Exciting.
That's really cool.
Dang.
So, hopefully you guys have had similar results after following this podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Hey, welcome to the Ministry. I bit my cheek.
Don't hurt yourself there.
Welcome.
Before we start.
But before we get to that, if you guys want to cough in the mic. Instructions to these Christmas.
I thought you did that on purpose.